6 most terrifying shipwrecks in history that shocked the world. Welcome to ancient history, where the most terrifying archaeological mysteries are finally brought to light. Have you ever wondered what lies hidden beneath the depths of the ocean? It's not just rotting wood or rusted steel. Sometimes it's an entire world of chilling stories that send shivers down the spine. Every sunken ship discovered doesn't just echo the traces of failed journeys. It also stands as haunting, vivid evidence of humanity's brutal, mysterious, and sometimes deeply disturbing past. For archaeologists excavating these ships, the experience is a mix of excitement and dread. They uncover gold, jewels, and priceless artifacts, but at the same time, they're often confronted by bizarre phenomena that leave even the scientific community stunned. Some discoveries seem ripped straight from a nightmare. Things no one believed could actually exist, resting at the bottom of the sea for hundreds of years. Can you imagine? Inside some of these ships are mysteries so profound they could reshape how we understand human history. In today's video, we'll explore 6 of the most mysterious and terrifying shipwrecks in history, each one packed with discoveries that are as fascinating as they are bone-chilling. Brace yourself. What you're about to witness won't just spark your curiosity, it might just haunt you. So, what are these chilling secrets? Let's begin the journey, right now. The Indian Titanic shipwreck and the $43 million treasure, decoded after 80 years. After lying deep beneath the Indian Ocean for more than 80 years, a tragic and disputed chapter of World War II history has finally come to a close. On May 8th, the United Kingdom's Supreme Court issued a historic ruling. The wreck of the SS Talawa and its $43 million treasure officially belong to the Republic of South Africa. But behind that ruling is the gripping story of a ship once dubbed the Indian Titanic, marked by deadly attacks, miraculous survival, and a decades-long legal battle. The story begins on November 23, 1942, as the world was engulfed in the flames of World War II. The SS Talawa, a passenger and cargo ship, departed from the port of Bombay, now Mumbai, India, headed for Durban, South Africa. On board were 222 crew members, 732 passengers, 4 gunners, and approximately 6,600 US tons of cargo. The most notable among the cargo, over 2,000 pure silver ingots, transported on behalf of the British government to mint coins for South Africa's economy. However, the Talawa never reached its destination. While navigating near the Seychelles Islands, the ship was suddenly struck by 2 torpedoes launched exactly 1 hour apart by the Japanese submarine I-29. The attack sent the vessel plunging to the bottom of the ocean, claiming 280 lives and the entire silver cargo. The survivors drifted at sea for 2 harrowing days and nights before being rescued by the British warship HMS Birmingham, one of the few emergency sea rescues during wartime. The event earned the Talawa the nickname the Indian Titanic, not only for the scale of the disaster, but also for the story of a once elegant vessel brought down in tragic and unexpected fashion. Yet what has kept the Talawa in the spotlight for archaeologists and treasure hunters for decades is not just the tragedy, but the massive treasure lying on the seafloor. In 2012, British racecar driver Ross Hyatt founded Argentum Exploration Limited with a bold goal: to locate wartime shipwrecks that carried valuable assets. Partnering with Advanced Maritime Services, AMS, the team identified the Talawa's location in 2014 after 2 years of research and deep-sea mapping. They launched a recovery mission using the Seabed Worker, a Norwegian salvage vessel specialized in deep-sea operations. At a depth of 11,500 feet, the team successfully recovered 2,364 silver bars, a remarkable feat of deep-sea diving and artifact retrieval. But ironically, the battle beneath the waves paled in comparison to the legal war on land. After bringing the treasure back to the UK, Argentum claimed ownership, arguing that they had discovered and salvaged the wreck. However, the Republic of South Africa immediately objected, asserting that the silver belonged to them, property of their nation, originally dispatched by the British government during wartime for public use. What followed was a fierce and years-long legal showdown that drew attention from academics, lawyers, and even international politicians. In the end, the UK Supreme Court overturned all prior rulings, declaring South Africa the rightful owner of both the shipwreck and its valuable cargo, on the grounds that the treasure was state property meant for non-commercial use. From a wartime tragedy, the Talawa saga has become a symbol of perseverance, exploration, and historical justice. To say this is more than just a silver treasure would be no exaggeration. It is a treasure of memory, a record of hundreds of lives, a turbulent era, and the secrets the ocean kept hidden for over 8 decades. The legendary ghost ship of explorer, Ernest Shackleton. A ship buried beneath the icy ocean for over 60 years has now been found almost intact, lying quietly at a depth of 1,280 feet off the coast of Canada. This is the Quest, the final ship associated with the great explorer Ernest Shackleton, famously known as the Legend of the Antarctic. Did you know? Shackleton led many iconic expeditions to Antarctica, but surprisingly, his last journey ended in tragedy. In January 1922, during his 4th Antarctic expedition aboard the Quest, Shackleton suddenly died of a heart attack while the ship was anchored near South Georgia Island. He passed away at the age of 47, right on his ship, and was buried there. From that moment on, the Quest became more than just a ship. It became a living symbol of a heroic era of exploration. So why did the discovery of the Quest send shockwaves through archaeologists and historians worldwide? Simply because it is the final piece of Shackleton's legendary journey, and finding it is like discovering a time machine resting at the bottom of the ocean. Of course, the search was far from easy. An international team of experts spent months analyzing maps, maritime data, and historical reports to narrow down the possible location. Finally, on June 9th, after 17 hours of sonar scanning across an area larger than 17 square miles, the Quest revealed itself, standing upright, with its stern deeply embedded in the seabed due to the heavy machinery inside. Doesn't that send chills down your spine? A ship that once sailed past towering polar icebergs, carrying priceless historical artifacts, now lies motionless but nearly intact, as if still waiting for Shackleton's return. After Shackleton's death, the Quest did not stop its journey. It continued to sail, sold to a Norwegian company, converted into a seal hunting vessel, and remained active in cold waters until 1962. That year, it collided with ice in the Labrador Sea and sank. Remarkably, the location marked by the crew that day is only about 1.5 miles from where the Quest was found. Isn't that incredible accuracy? The Royal Canadian Geographic Society, which led the search, stated this discovery marks one of the final chapters in the extraordinary story of Shackleton. And the journey is not over. In the next phase of the expedition, they plan to use remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, to get closer, film the shipwreck, and possibly recover artifacts inside, unveiling details never known before. 17th century pirate shipwreck discovered. Lying silently at a depth of 2,720 feet beneath the deep blue waters of the Strait of Gibraltar, the narrow body of water separating Spain and Morocco, a 46-foot-long wreck has just been confirmed as the first known shipwreck belonging to the infamous Barbary pirates. No longer just legend or rumor about raiding ships that once terrorized the Mediterranean, this discovery is tangible evidence of a dark historical era when the seas were ruled by human hunters, pirates who specialized in slave-taking and ransom. This is not just a groundbreaking archaeological find. It is a key that may unlock secrets buried by time and tide for over 300 years. The stunning discovery was made by Odyssey Marine Exploration, OME, a Florida-based deep-sea exploration company. Originally, the team began surveying the area back in 2005, searching for the wreck of the British warship HMS Sussex, which sank in 1694. But during the expedition, they stumbled upon an unusual wreck with characteristics that didn't match their target. It wasn't until nearly 2 decades later, after detailed analysis and cross-referencing with historical data, that experts were able to officially announce in WreckWatch magazine that the vessel in question had belonged to a Barbary pirate crew, the very pirates who had once shaken all of Europe throughout the 17th and 18th centuries. According to marine archaeologist Sean Kingsley, what makes this discovery especially significant is the ship's location, right in the heart of Barbary waters, the central zone of North African pirate activity for centuries. The Barbary pirates, primarily Muslim corsairs from regions like Algiers, Tunis, and Tripoli, then under the Ottoman Empire, were the stuff of nightmares for any ship passing through the Mediterranean. From the 15th to the early 19th century, these pirate bands were notorious for capturing European merchant ships, enslaving their crews, or ransoming them for massive sums from wealthy governments. Some of their raids even reached peaceful fishing villages along the coasts of France, Spain, Italy, and astonishingly, as far north as Iceland. There is no doubt about the intended use of this vessel, based on what was found. Using remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, the archaeological team observed a range of features typical of a pirate warship: 4 large swivel guns, 10 smaller cannons, and numerous muskets, all standard pirate weapons for fast, brutal raids at sea. The ship also carried a spyglass, an advanced telescopic tool of the era used to track distant targets, showing just how well-equipped these pirates were for stealth attacks. The vessel's structure resembled that of a typical fishing boat, with triangular sails on 2 large masts and a flexible rowing system, a deceptive design that allowed pirates to approach targets without raising suspicion. According to Kingsley, this disguise was essential to their strategy, helping them get close enough to strike before their enemies could react. Even the remaining cargo on board suggests trickery. Items like pots and pans manufactured in Algiers may have been used to pass off the voyage as a legitimate trade mission, fooling European patrols or merchants into letting their guard down. What adds even more value to this find is the historical backdrop of the Barbary pirates' decline. By the early 19th century, after more than 200 years of dominance, North African piracy was being systematically crushed by European military campaigns. Most notably during the First and Second Barbary Wars, when the United States confronted Barbary states like Algiers and Tripoli. These violent confrontations not only ended the era of these infamous pirates, but also contributed to the eventual collapse of the Mediterranean slave trade. The Barbary pirate shipwreck at the bottom of the Strait of Gibraltar is more than just a fragment of the past. It is a mirror reflecting the deep conflicts, power struggles, and desperate survival tactics of a turbulent era. It was a time when the sea was not a symbol of freedom, but a ruthless battleground where humans hunted one another for power and profit. This discovery presents a rare and valuable opportunity for maritime historians, archaeologists, and anthropologists alike, as this is one of the very few Barbary pirate shipwrecks ever found, and in good enough condition to reconstruct its story. With each artifact recovered, with every decayed wooden beam brought up from the deep, the past is coming alive, not as romanticized pirate myths from novels, but as raw, brutal historical truth. And sometimes it's these forgotten wrecks lying beneath the ocean floor that hold the darkest, yet most captivating chapters in the history of humankind. The gold-laden ship lost for 500 years suddenly emerges in the Namibian desert. In 1533, a mysterious event shook the maritime world. A ship loaded with gold, precious gems, and treasures vanished without a trace while on its way to India. This ship didn't just carry millions in material wealth, it also carried the fate of its entire crew. Yet no one could have imagined that nearly 500 years later, a chance discovery in the arid Namibian desert would unravel all the mysteries surrounding this vessel. The Portuguese ship, the Bom Jesus, was believed to be carrying an enormous treasure trove, including gold, jewels, and countless valuable artifacts. It set sail from Portugal in 1533, but never reached its destination. Despite many theories over the centuries, the disappearance of this ship remained one of the greatest mysteries in maritime history, until 2008, when a group of diamond miners accidentally uncovered traces of the ship thousands of miles inland in the Namib Desert. The story of the Bom Jesus seemed lost to time until a team from Namdeb Diamond Mining Company, working in the desert, started digging through the thick sand. They began to uncover fragments of wood and metal unlike anything they had seen before. Surprised by their find, they immediately contacted Dr. Dieter Nolli, a renowned scientist based in South Africa. Under Dr. Nolli's guidance, the excavation team quickly realized that the Namib Desert had once been a bustling coastline, frequently battered by powerful storms. This helped explain how a shipwreck could end up far inland in what is now a desert. Excavations officially began, and after a tense week of work, archaeologists and miners uncovered a miraculous treasure, a cache filled with gold coins. Within just 45 minutes of digging, they had recovered 24 pounds of gold coins, an astonishing haul unlike any previous excavation. Analysis revealed that the coins were minted between 1525 and 1538. perfectly matching the timeline when the bomb Jesus was lost. But the treasure wasn't limited to gold alone. The team also found an array of priceless artifacts: bronze bowls, copper ingots, over 50 ivory tusks, ancient astronomical instruments, compasses, swords, and even matchlock firearms dating back 500 years. In addition, well-preserved Portuguese silver coins were discovered. In total, more than 5,400 artifacts were recovered from the shipwreck site, including over 2,000 gold coins. At this point, archaeologists confirmed that this was no ordinary shipwreck. It was indeed the bomb Jesus, the legendary ship historians had long dreamed of finding. The gold coins, ivory tusks, and other artifacts stand as testament to the immense wealth and mystery carried by this vessel. This discovery not only solves one of maritime history's greatest enigmas, but also raises new questions about ancient ships, daring ocean voyages, and treasures never before found. The bomb Jesus's treasure is more than just material wealth. It symbolizes the power and influence of the Portuguese Empire in the 16th century. The story of the bomb Jesus and its treasure will surely continue to captivate generations of researchers, treasure hunters, and history enthusiasts alike. It is one of the rare mysteries that modern science and technology have been able to decode, revealing surprising answers. And even after more than 500 years, the tale of this legendary ship lives on, standing as proof of a golden age of seafaring and endless adventure. Truly, this is an impressive archaeological discovery, isn't it? The $20 billion treasure shipwreck beneath the Caribbean Sea. Over 3 centuries ago, one of the bloodiest and most mysterious shipwrecks in maritime history occurred off the coast of the port city of Cartagena, Colombia. Today, a new chapter is being written beneath the waters of the Caribbean, as the Colombian government officially launches the first phase of an expedition to the legendary warship San Jose, a vessel long hailed as the holy grail of treasure shipwrecks. But did you know that the San Jose is more than just a ship? It's a symbol of power, wealth, and tragedy from the height of the Spanish Empire in the 18th century. With its towering 3 masts, 62 cannons ready for battle, and a massive treasure cargo filled with gold, silver, emeralds, and rare goods from Peru, the San Jose was the crown jewel of the Spanish fleet. But on June 8, 1708, during a fierce naval battle against British ships in the War of Spanish Succession, the legendary vessel was sunk, taking 600 lives and an estimated $20 billion worth of treasure to the bottom of the sea. Now, after centuries buried in cold sand and darkness, the San Jose is slowly revealing secrets long lost to time. The expedition, organized by Colombia's National Institute of Anthropology and History, ICANH, is using cutting-edge archaeological technology, including non-invasive remote sensors, acoustic positioning systems, and remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, to capture detailed imagery of the wreck. These images are being used not only to create an inventory of the artifacts, but also to lay the foundation for future archaeological recovery phases. What makes this even more remarkable is that the entire wreck site has been officially declared a protected archaeological zone to preserve its scientific, cultural, and historical value from disturbance. Authorities emphasize that the primary goal of the project is not the treasure, but rather the historical discovery, to reconstruct what happened on that fateful night in 1708, and to better understand how the ship's contents connect with the political and economic dynamics of Europe at the time. But do you think that's where the story ends? Not even close. The San Jose is now at the center of a dramatic legal battle. A US-based marine salvage company, Sea Search Armada, SSA, claims it was the first to discover the wreck back in the 1980s, not Colombia in 2015. And guess what? They're suing the Colombian government in the Permanent Court of Arbitration, demanding rights to half of the treasure, a staggering $10 billion. While courts argue over ownership, the ocean continues to guard its secrets. The San Jose still lies beneath the Caribbean Sea, a silent witness to centuries of conflict, conquest, and human greed. Will we soon witness a groundbreaking moment in archaeological history as Colombia moves forward in recovering and analyzing this treasure? Or is this turning into a brutal race between science and self-interest? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. The weapon chest at the 15th century floating castle and the conspiracy behind the Danish king's flagship explosion. A centuries-old weapon chest has just been discovered on the wreck of Gri Shunden, the warship famously known as the floating castle of the Danish royal fleet. And you won't believe it, this chest may be the key to unraveling the mysterious explosion in 1495 that sank the entire ship, along with King Hans's dream of uniting Northern Europe deep beneath the Baltic Sea. A magnificent ship, carrying weapons, mercenaries, and the political ambitions of a king, suddenly exploded at anchor without any warning. This is not historical fiction, but the true story of Gri Shunden, the flagship of King Hans of Denmark. The incident happened in 1495, while the ship was anchored off the town of Ronneby in southern Sweden. A sudden fire broke out, triggering an explosion in the ship's gunpowder magazine. The entire Gri Shunden sank. King Hans narrowly escaped disaster since he was not aboard at the time, but the event stalled efforts to unify the three Nordic kingdoms, Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, under a single crown. More than 500 years later, underwater archaeologists in Sweden recorded a shocking discovery: a chest believed to be a zugblad, a powder magazine chest, found nearly intact on the seabed near the Gri Shunden wreck. What's particularly remarkable is what was inside the chest: lead casting molds, molten lead sheets, and cylindrical cartridge cases. Vivid evidence of the evolving warfare technology at the close of the 15th century. Do you see anything strange? The chest is not merely a weapon container, it symbolizes a silent revolution. From hand-to-hand combat and direct confrontation, humans began to harness gunpowder to strike from a distance. According to archaeologist Rolf Warming, who directly studied the shipwreck, this marked the beginning of a military evolution at sea. However, he also noted that this shift took over a century to spread throughout Europe. Interestingly, the research team suspects the weapon chest belonged to a group of German-speaking mercenaries accompanying the Gri Shunden. Alongside the chest, they also found a copper chainmail armor piece produced in Nuremberg, Germany, in the early 1400s, reinforcing the hypothesis of mercenary forces aboard the ship. The chest still rests underwater, but the archaeologists have employed advanced 3D photogrammetry to create detailed models for preservation and study. This weapon chest, if successfully recovered, could be the missing piece that helps scientists answer the biggest question: was the Gri Shunden explosion merely an accident or a politically motivated sabotage? The sinking occurred at a time when King Hans was actively trying to persuade Sweden to rejoin the Kalmar Union, a powerful alliance uniting the three Nordic kingdoms. When the ship was destroyed, that political dream was shattered. Could someone have wanted to prevent that unity? Although the answer remains buried beneath layers of Baltic Sea mud, each artifact recovered from Gri Shunden sheds new light on a history once thought lost. And you know what? The journey to uncover the secrets of this royal ship has only just begun. It's quite possible that this mysterious weapon chest will open an entirely new chapter in medieval European history. As you can see, the mystery of ships lost and sunk decades ago continues to puzzle scientists because understanding why they sank and what their significance is in history remains very difficult to solve. What do you think about this? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any more exciting discoveries. For now, goodbye and see you next time.